Hey folks, what's going on? This is Shadow Stars, and I'm bringing you another video today. Going to be calling out this Grifter. I've been calling him out for the last two videos, and looks like he's continuing to push out all these absolute garbage videos, spreading misinformation, and I think that he needs to be called out. So let's play the first couple seconds of his video. I have it sped up at 1.5.
Report for AMC with the success of Avatar over the weekend. They had 134 million in domestic sales.
Okay, so obviously he references this news article, Avatar, 134 million. Let's really put this into context of how it's done opening day and opening weekend. These are some of the most recent movies that's come out within the past year. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Wakanda for Black Panther, Thor, Jurassic World, Batman, Maverick, Minions, etc. Look at the opening weekend. Spider-Man 260. You go to Avatar, 134 million. I'm going to update this because the most recent information came out. I think it's 134.1. But nonetheless, opening weekend is far behind all these other movies. So I don't know how you could say this is a really great opening. And nonetheless, don't forget that he mentions this 435 million, this figure that he puts down there. Except AMC, don't forget, this is a global figure. AMC doesn't have theaters in all those different places where they're showing the movie. As far as I know, China, where they expected a big portion, didn't do too hot. I think if I recall the numbers I read in an article last night, it was around, 23 million opening on Friday. And the weekend, I think, was only like 40 million. But nonetheless, it's not like AMC is getting all of this money. This is all of the box office. AMC is not the only movie theater company in the whole world, let alone the US.
435 million globally over the weekend. So this is a really good news. We had a great turnout. There's a lot of cash pouring into AMC.
It was a really great turnout, huh? Wakanda Forever, Thor, Jurassic. How many? That's 6 movies within the last year that came out that did a lot better. Bigger hits. No. Straight out misinformation.
Corporation right now. Also, keep in mind the debt that AMC has is being reduced every quarter. And Adam Aaron just recently said they reduced the debt again here in Q4. So let's take a little.
I'm going to be doing a separate video going over AMC's debt structuring and some of the moves that was done via the information we got from the 8K filing today in a separate video. Today I'm just going to focus on a lot of the box office stuff.
A little bit of a look here at Avatar, The Way of the Water. It had a strong opening, and global admissions in revenue and food and beverage were significantly higher than the same weekend in pre-pandemic 2019, which was led by Jumanji. So this is a big opening weekend that we can really celebrate. And here's some really good news specifically for AMC. It says more than 70% of revenue for Avatar, The Way of the Water, came from 3D IMAX at AMC. Dolby Cinema.
Okay, so you're stressing the point that, hey, higher percentage came from IMAX. So as far as I understand the figures then, so if the box office gross is only 134 million, and you're getting more per ticket, then less people are watching it on average then. That's how I understand the information, how I understand the numbers. If more people, for example, people who are watching Black Panther, 181 million, if more people were buying just the regular tickets and it made 181 million, versus if more people were watching IMAX, well, if you had more people watching it, you would have regular ticket, like they'd buy more regular tickets. The whole point that I'm trying to stress here is that you want more people going to the theaters because that increases the chance of people spending more money at the concession stands. More people, more opportunity. So they're going to buy more popcorn, they're going to buy more sodas, they're going to buy more other foods, candies, etc. If they're just spending more on the ticket itself and they're not getting concessions, then that's not really going to be helping the theater. Sure, ticket sales to a certain degree do help the theaters, but the margins are not there because the the studios, they take a large chunk of that ticket revenue away from companies, not just AMC, Regal, Cineworld, Cinemark, etc. All those other movie theater companies. These movie studios, they're the ones that are taking a large portion of that. I've read articles anywhere. Obviously, I'm sure it depends movie by movie, but I've heard that anywhere from like that first week of initial release, anywhere from 50 to like 80% of those ticket sales is taken straight out and given to the movie studios. So the movie theater itself is only making pennies on the dollar. They're getting such a small percentage of it.
At AMC and Prime at AMC. So the company said that the movie also played strong overseas weekend sales, particularly on Saturday when AMC's Odeon cinemas enjoyed the highest admissions revenue and food and beverage revenue for a single day in 2022. How amazing is that, friends?
That one, I'm going to have to verify because you've had stronger openings. Doctor Strange, Black Panther, etc. All these, and you're saying that Avatar, that grossed a lot less than these, that they had much higher concessions. No, I'm not buying that.
is very encouraging. So Adam Aaron said he saw the movie twice over the weekend. He really did enjoy it very much. It's a bit of a longer movie, so if you go, make sure you bring snacks and.
On that note, the average movie is about 2 hours, 2 hours 15ish on average for the runtime. Factor in about 45, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for cleanup, prep, and all that. When a movie is, for example, this Avatar is over 3 hours, I think like 3 hours and like nearly 15 minutes. It's over an hour longer, so it's almost 50% longer than your average movie. So that also affects how you can space out your movies, your showings, how that affects your other movies that are going to be playing too. You can't be playing as many movies because it's eating up so much time. So you need it. So if one movie is going to take 50% longer than your other movies, it needs to bring in a lot more money. It needs to bring in more attendance, more people spending money at the concession stands. If not, then it doesn't matter if this movie, for example, let's say Avatar did 134, but if let's say Batman did 134, but it's only 2 hours, it's a lot shorter than Avatar. Well, that's better for the company. You want shorter movies that bring in more people. Having long movies equate to the same amount as short is not going to do it because you got that negative effect when it runs an extra long period of time.
Also, when you're there, buy some popcorn and some snacks there. That way you're covered. You got everything you need, extras for 3 hours. What else can I tell you about it? AMC said that it had raised approximately $162 million through sales of its AMC preferred equity.
Yep, I'm going to cover that all in the debt and also the earnings preview.
His balance sheet by repurchasing approximately $107 million total principal debt reduction for 20 liquidity.
Yes.
And the other thing, they're going to watch it, and it did get good reviews, so people are going to be eager to watch it. The other thing, The Dark Knight, the sleeper that I brought out in one of my previous videos, in Q4, in just about a week, we've got the release in about a week of Puss in Boots 2. Puss in Boots 1, when it first came out, it grossed $500 million worldwide.
Okay, so let's double check that, because I did a movie breakdown. Puss in Boots. It did 92 million in 15 days, 133 million in 30 days. So let's see. Puss in Boots. Domestic. It did 554 million worldwide. It only did 149 domestic.
And that was like 20 years ago. So think about it.
This came out when? What was that again? Oh, 2011. 20 years. Hold on. Did he say it came out 20 years ago? What?
Years ago. So think about it. It grossed $500 million worldwide. And that was like 20 years ago.
My friend. No. 2011. October 2011. That's only 11 years ago.
So think about inflation and how much tickets cost now and all that, and there's more people now and everything. So I'm predicting that Puss in Boots 2 is going to gross $1 billion worldwide. And this
Okay, so he's gonna think that it's gonna do $1 billion worldwide. Okay, well, let's see. Well, this thing is gonna Puss in Boots is only gonna be out for what, 10 days? The 21st to the 31st? What, 11 days, including that day? So that's not gonna save Q4. And this guy, his video says AMC earnings for Q4 will set a record. No, it will not. This is an absolute garbage. This is absolute lies that he's feeding you. Currently, Q4 total domestic box office $1.3 billion. To match even Q2, Q2 was 2.3 billion. They have nearly 1 billion to go. And I covered this on a live stream, on Scotty's live stream. And with the remaining 13 days, let's say we use Friday's figures when Avatar first came out of $57 million. 13 times 57 million, 749. That's still going to fall short of the goal of reaching Q2 figures by 200 million. So that's what? Nearly 10% less than Q2. So how is Q4 going to set records? It's not going to even beat Q2. It is absolute garbage. This guy is straight out lying to you. He doesn't even know about the numbers that he's talking about. He doesn't know the context, the relevance of what these numbers mean. He's just throwing them out at you and hoping that he's just trying to give you a whole switcheroo.
This is going to be part of Q4 earnings, right along with the $1 billion that Way of the Water is going to make. So AMC is going to have a huge cash pull in Q4 2022. And also,
it's not going to have a huge cash pull in 2022. Like I said, even if it does this, that same Friday, which is not going to occur, I can show you daily. Look at how movies do. Last Monday, total domestic box office under 3 million. Tuesday, 3.9 million. Wednesday, 3 million. Thursday, 2.2 million. It is slow on the regular days. On the weekends, yeah, sure, you get that nice bump up. But come Monday through Thursday, it's slow. So even I gave it the benefit of the doubt of this $57 million figure every week, every day for the remaining day of the remaining fiscal year, remaining of December. But there's no way it's going to hit that, because as time goes on, this figure will go down. Your daily amount will go down. Let me show you. Black Panther. Sure, it opened up 84 million the first day. Second day, 56 million. Third day, 40 million. Look at the following weekend. From 84 million, it dropped off to what? Basically 18 million. That second Saturday was 56. 28. First Sunday, 40 mil. 19 mil. Basically a 50% drop off. So Saturday from 56 to 28, 50% basically. From nearly 41 down to 19.7, 50%. From opening day, 84 million down to what? 18 million. That's way more than 50%. So that figure that I used to calculate it, 57 million, it's not even going to happen. Because most of the time, this number continues to go down in vast majority of cases. Rarely do you see where the opening weekend was okay and then it goes up the following weekend. Rarely does that happen. From opening weekend to the second weekend, numbers rarely go up. It's a very, very small number of movies that have ever done that. That would be record breaking, basically. But this is not going to happen.
So do not forget, Wakanda Forever and Black Adam revenue is part of Q4.
Yeah, Black Adam. That's why I included that in Q4 figures. It's only at 1.3 billion. It's nearly 1 billion behind Q2.
It's amazing. AMC Q4 is going to be epic earnings. We are going to turn positive earnings per share. Our EBITDA.
Positive earnings per share? No, this guy has obviously never seen an earnings sheet. Because there we go. Q3, net loss. Q2, net loss. If AMC will have, the box office is going to have less domestic gross, total gross, domestic gross. Q2 is going to be greater than Q4. So Q4, I would say anywhere from 10 to almost 20% less. So if there's less box office revenue across the board, AMC is going to have less revenue. They still have these fixed costs, their operating expenses, their rent, their depreciation. They have the interest payments that they need to make on all their debt. They're going to have a greater net loss. They're not going to have a positive EPS. When was the last time AMC had a positive EPS? This guy has no clue what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything financial at all. He doesn't look at a 10K. 10Q, 10K. He doesn't look at any of those filings, let alone does he understand the numbers on them. He's just throwing these numbers at you without any sort of context, without any sort of elaboration to explain what those numbers mean.
Is going to be very strong. Earning before interest and taxes. Take a look into that. Take a look into how strong it's been the last 3 quarters in a row for AMC. About to do 4 quarters now for AMC. We've got a lot of wins. We've got the credit card launching for AMC. That's great news. We have the popcorn going into retail stores 2023 Q1.
Okay, credit card, popcorn. How many people are going to be using an AMC credit card though? How many people are going to be buying AMC popcorn? What's the margins on those? Think about it. Instead of throwing out these ideas, think about actually what tangible, what credible, what sort of profits, what sort of revenues could we see?
That's also great news. The CEO is doing a very good job. Now the stock itself is down. The whole market.
The CEO is doing a really good job? No. If the CEO was doing a great job, he would have restructured the crap out of the company, shaved off a lot of those non-profitable theaters. AMC has over 500 plus theaters. Let's see if I still have those figures here. Do I have average screens still? No, unfortunately I don't have it in... I don't think I do I? Oh, there we go. As of 2022 Q1, total number of theaters was 938, of which 500 plus was, I think, in the US and the rest overseas. He would have slashed at least 100, 150 of the bottom performers, got out of them, if possible. That would have helped AMC because it's really the top performers, maybe the top 100 theaters, is basically pulling the weight of the whole company. Sure, those top 100 might be profitable, but you have 100, 150 that are underperforming, that are not doing well.
Is down. So the stock is being pulled down with the market in general, plus the shorts are doing their thing. But guess what?
Short, yeah, people are shorting the stock because financially it's doing terrible. Quarter after quarter, it's burning hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not bringing in enough money. If your revenue is only, for example, 968, your operating costs and your expenses over $1 billion, add in your interest payments, if you're burning 200 plus million a quarter, you only have 684 cash on hand, not including your restricted cash and your other stuff. You're going to run out of money. So what do you need to do? You need to sell shares. That's the whole point of Ape.
That's actually setting up perfectly for a short squeeze because with the prices as low as they are, the shorts have to cover, and they are looking very hungry to cover.
Shorts have been covering this whole narrative. Oh, shorts never covered. It's ridiculous. The stock has, from $72, it's gone down to sub $5. You think shorts never took any profits? No, they've been covering all the time. You see all those volume spikes? That's a lot of times where shorts finally covered their positions. Sure, I'm sure there's some shorts that are in, but I mean, they've repositioned multiple times. These folks are not underwater. It's absolutely ridiculous. This guy here has no understanding of fundamentals, has no understanding of the numbers he talks about. He just wants to sucker you in into buying the company. Or if you already have a position, he wants to sucker you in into holding the company because this guy is probably bag holding a big position. He's probably down bad. If he's smart, he's probably selling options on those positions that he's down bad and trying to recoup some of that money he's lost because he didn't sell it at the top. Or maybe he doesn't hold any shares at all and he's just doing a lot of margin trading, does a lot of selling of naked options. Nonetheless, this guy is spreading misinformation, wrong information. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Absolutely disgraceful. If if anyone is bullish on AMC, but if you take heed any of his information, he's doing you a big disservice because he's giving you lies. He's feeding you lies. You need to stop watching this guy. You need to double check, you need to fact check this guy. Absolutely ridiculous.
Because they see how low these prices are, and they know they have to cover, and this may be their only chance to cover at prices this low. So watch for those volume spikes, like I said in my...
Nope. Price is going to get lower when AMC has its earnings for Q4. So what? Sometime in February? Oh, you'll see that, hey, this cash burn is going to be pretty bad. I'll cover this in the earnings preview and the debt video. We'll see an estimated. The press release actually even gives you a good notice of what to expect for the cash burn. If you actually knew how to read that press release, if you knew what those numbers really meant, you'd understand what the expected cash burn is. But a lot of apes, these people that are strictly on hopium, they don't understand any of that information. All they see is, oh, debt was reduced. Oh, yeah, we're in a better position. Oh, Avatar did great. They're all hoodwinked because they choose to only believe the good side. They have no context whatsoever. It's absolutely infuriating.
My previous video. Watch for those volume spikes because that's when AMC is going to run, and it's going to happen soon, friends. Please make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, and at the very end, share the video with a friend.
Nope, definitely don't need to share this guy because he's an absolute fraud. One thing I will agree, I'm sure that AMC might have a little bit of a bounce because it's really oversold. On the daily RSI, it is nearing historically low levels. So it might see a technical bounce. But nonetheless, that's not going to trigger some sort of short squeeze. Where's retail's money? They don't have that anymore. You don't have the whole COVID stimulus of all this money being printed into the market. The short thesis is not dead. The company is still burning tons of cash. The movie that was hyped up, Avatar, is not doing nearly as well as hoped. That 134 million domestic weekend, projections were saying anywhere from 175 to 200 mil. The initial projections were about 125 to 150. They upped it, but then they had to bring it back. And now we see that 134. That's actually not that well. We'll see if it has any sort of staying power, but I doubt it. This might be my last video of this guy because I just can't stand him. He really has no clue what he's talking about. Absolute fraud. And with that, I'm going to end the video here. This went a lot longer than I expected, but nonetheless, hope you guys liked it. If you have any other things you'd like me to cover, not just AMC, if there's any other companies you want me to cover, shoot me a comment or leave a comment down below. I'll do my thoughts on the company. I'll try to give you my perspective. Once again, I'm not some sort of guru or financial analyst and whatnot. I just try to read the filings, the SEC filings, read the financials, and from there, just tell it straight. Tell you what the numbers say. Use historical previous performance to see, hey, what could be a potential projection. I don't randomly throw out numbers that have no meaning, give absolute no context, have no sort of logic or reasoning behind projections. I base it on numbers that exist. Folks like him, he just makes stuff up, giving you hopium. Absolutely terrible, fraudulent. Needs to stop. Okay, that's it. Peace out, folks. Shadowstar signing out.